Good morning, welcome along to Dumfries Ice Bowl for the semi-finals of the 2017 International Mixed Doubles. Packed commentary cupboard booth this morning. John Graham, Kenny Murray, morning both.
Morning David.
Morning.
Both fighting fit this morning?
Yes.
Both here anyway.
No problems.
No problems with
on
the
this,
clocks? Or
no, none at all. Got up early, watched the Grand Prix on this Mother's Day.
Well, I can't say I got up and watched the Grand Prix, but I did watch a bit of curling before I came in from China.
I think by all accounts the curling was probably the better bet.
Yes, it was good news for Scotland. Muirhead winning bronze, beating Sweden 6-4.
Well done. Well done to them.
And also, I think after 3 ends in the ladies' final, Canada were 3-0 on Russia.
And there was me going to watch that later on the day.
7 ends left. You'll be fine. We'll update you in an hour.
Thank you.
Just to totally ruin it for you. So the game we're watching this morning is Spain versus Russia. Spain with the blue stones, the Russians playing the red. I think Russia has last stone. Last stone decided by a draw shot challenge at the end of their quarterfinals last night.
I think the Spanish team line shot, David, and the just off the button.
Yeah, they are. It looks a little bit lonely in there, though, doesn't it?
There's
definitely
3 red stones, 2, 3, and 4.
There's definitely an escape route for that blue.
There's an even bigger escape route for it now.
Yeah, probably want another one in there. There's nothing obvious to limit the red stones anyway, so not really much option other than to get another blue in there.
Possibly a good one would be just to lie in the front of that red shot there.
I would say that would be perfect, John. Just frozen on it. Yeah,
somewhere in there.
I thought that takes off the angle that they can't get the blue either with the next stone.
Exactly.
What effort with a sweep in there.
This could be setting up a double, I would say.
I
Possibilities.
think it might.
No, it's.
I think they're okay, aren't they? Unless they can drive the red sideways into it.
I don't think Russia would want to hit that because they'd actually take out certainly one of their own back ones as well.
We're going to have to move them at some point, but I'm not quite sure how they. I think you're right. They're not going to want to throw something huge at this just in case both blues hang about and a few reds disappear.
That's right. Just needs a wee shuggle.
A wee shuggle.
A wee shuggle.
I think you'll see Russia going at this to possibly take blue and red both out. They're definitely striking.
Yeah, they've got to move it off the forefoot. To be fair, they've got last stone.
They need to open up forefoot, even if they do lose a red.
You're probably right, Kenny. The way they're looking, sacrifice it.
Maybe just didn't work the way they were expecting.
I think you called that, John, didn't you?
Something like that.
That's an unfortunate result for them. That's.
But Kenny was right. It was maybe just a sacrifice that they take because they've got the last shot.
I think that blue hit the red about 4 times there, didn't it?
There's quite a few ricochets going on in there. So there's still a red hanging on at the back there on the right hand side.
Aye.
Yep, and then the blues do double as well, don't they? So I think you can get rid of both the blues.
Just sit in the front of in the 8 foot at the front.
8 foot, even 4 foot, and behind the guard with the pressure on. The think you're probably right, though. I think they will try and almost an 8-foot guard, if you like, for the two blues. Certainly want to beat this back red. I don't think they've left the double.
I think you're just going to see a draw here at the last stone. So here we are, the last stone at the first end, being played by the Russians. A draw to the, just to bite the 4 foot.
One blue, I think. Just a little touch up in weight there.
I think
Well, I thought that they could have stopped sweeping it, and I mean the weight wasn't that bad. It was the fact that they were sweeping it, and that kept it straight.
I think they took the safety option. They're playing battering weight just to make sure they were there, David. And the last thing they wanted to do was hit the guard on the road past.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
A wee touch in the blue might they have went across the face.
Yeah, they might have done just with the weight they had, just to run back over it.
But again, they'll not be that bothered losing a win at the first end.
It's not a disaster, is it?
They could have played for it,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
because they kept sweeping it. So
Fair point.
Could they have been playing and saying, well, we'll give them a one and we'll... I don't know.
Keep the hammer.
Keep the hammer, value the hammer more than actually taking the one. Yeah.
You know, we'll get a 3 or a 4 with the next end.
You've just thrown a whole new set of ideas at us there. Well, that's...
Having watched the Spanish pair last night, I don't think there'll be a lot of stones lying around, because they can play stones with a bit of weight.
That's what we want, though. Bit of excitement, bit of enthusiasm.
So who's your favourites for this game then? I have to say, we've covered both teams in the web coverage already. Both teams been pretty good.
I think that's the problem as well. I mean, it was like Mowat versus McCleary last night. You know, I mean, both really great teams, and really you couldn't say at an early stage who would win it. It's only as the game progresses, I think you maybe get a better idea. You know, so.
Well, I think the only game actually that finished early last night was the one you were covering. I think that I might be starting to be corrected here.
No,
but
I think you're absolutely right.
I think all other 3 games went down to the very last stone.
They did. Yeah,
So it was a good choice for us.
It was.
Aye.
Got us out. We were home a little bit sharper than we'd have otherwise been. No, there was some good games. I have to say I wasn't home that early because I stood upstairs and watched the rest of them, and they were they were good. Very good.
Was it the Czech game went down to the very last stone, and you had a shot to play to get an extra end?
Right.
I think that was the game. It was the last game to come off the ice last night
Ah, right. Okay.
on sheet B.
But again, all this.
Hungarians, sorry.
It was the Hungarians. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, and
Against the
and
Swedish.
and they very, very nearly made it.
It was very close to it. It was another inch of the stone. I think he possibly could have made it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think if you have a look on our Facebook page, I believe that shot's on there. I think Graham was filming it last night, so I think that's just in case you wonder what we're talking about or going on about this morning.
I think the only possible wee drawback to it was the fact that it was the girl playing the shot, that she possibly it had to be thrown with quite a bit of weight to go across the house. I think that was possibly the only drawback to that. If it had been the guy who could play big weight,
Because he has got a seriously big
yes,
weight. Yes, in his armoury. Yep.
but that's the game of mixed doubles. You've got playing first and last stone, and another player's playing the middle three.
Yep, you can't play all 5. That would change the dynamics. You're here to hold the brush and sweep. That'd be interesting.
There's one for John. Pronunciation of the Russian guy's name. It's on the back of his tracksuit.
I'm unfortunate, my glasses just kind of help me with that.
Crucial nitki.
Very good, David. I'm not even going to try. I'll try with the Spanish pair.
That's technically known as cheating. It's one of these difficult ends to know who's actually in control of this. Obviously the Russians sitting with 2 red stones in the forefoot, but the Spanish blue stones up front probably more useful longer term in this end. And even more useful now.
I think we'll see the game will be quite tight early on. No team will want to really throw everything at it early on, because the possibility of you could lose the game quite easily in the first few ends. They'll try and keep it tight till at least the halfway stage.
Yeah, that seems to be the general way teams are going about it. Keep it tight and then see where you are. Play the power plays at the appropriate time later on. You do see some games go out of control very, very quickly.
Or you could lose a big end,
followed by another not so great end.
And it's game over basically then. Trying to come through the hole here?
I think they are. I think that's exactly what they're trying to do.
Or at least lock on the front red to take the angle off.
Yeah, it's one of these ones that the line's probably more important than where it ends up, but I think they are trying to come down between the guards right into the forefoot.
And possibly rest against the red. It's lying in the forefoot.
Stone's out. It's away and he's following it. So he must be intent on sweeping it.
Looks very good.
Swinging now. It needs to swing another inch though. Not quite.
I think she was shouting him off, was she, when he was sweeping it?
Was, yeah. I think he was just thinking about it,
Mhm.
and then was discouraged from
Right,
thinking
okay.
about it. Slightly dangerous for the Spaniards now.
I think the indication was there, David, just a draw to the right onto the face of the blue. Possibly a lie too. I don't think they'll want to knock it back too far, so it doesn't give the Spanish team a chance to come up against it and lie shot. I'll just move it slightly back. Because the angles are slightly bit off on the other side now with that blue stone going over in there to.
Depends if you can see any of the one that's locked on the red.
Yeah.
Then there's quite a nice angle, but that looks to be fairly thin now, so.
Really working that hard.
It's quite nice. Worked it too hard, if anything, I think, Jack. Maybe overdid that a fraction.
It's just bumped it a wee bit too much. I think they'll be kind of annoyed with that finish. I think they'll be a bit annoyed with that, just that bump, because I mean, if they just let the sweeping up a wee bit earlier,
It was there.
It was there. I mean, it was a well played shot in that. So
It's normally the way you get a slightly over enthusiastic skip screaming no bounce at you.
I suppose that's the problem with mixed doubles, that if you haven't got somebody in the head, it's very hard to gauge the line and
well, it did.
the weight of the stone.
Yeah, exactly.
And you've also just got one sweeper, so
It is very keen mind. So in fairness to them, it's maybe not just the easiest to actually just work out where the shots are going to stop, and they're not just stopping, if you know what I mean. It's not as if they come to a sudden stop, it's like a gradual stop. So
I thought for a second that was disappearing through a hole, but it has stuck in there. So, moving stone.
I would say just back 4 weight here and
Bump, bump.
bump and lie 3.
If you could ever play a little bit more weight on it, I think I probably would though. Maybe back 12, maybe
Yeah.
just even a wee bit heavier, just to try and clear the back red out the way. Maybe give yourself an angle for your last stone, because your shooter's always going to be sitting at the top of the 4 foot.
I think your own stone here, David, is actually going to probably just go over on the face of the other red.
Needs to swing. Just not quite done enough, I don't think.
I think you're right there, David. I think that the blue will still be lying short.
Of course, the sweep in there would be to try and get it to swing.
Yeah.
You'll be right from that side and that angle.
Each have a stone left, is that correct?
I wonder
Yep,
if
I think
if the Spanish will play just a kind of hack weight onto that red there to come across, or will they just want to lock into there?
It's the Russians actually, John. It's
Sorry,
going to play this stone.
Russian, sorry.
No, you're right enough. No, John's right. It's the Spaniards. Spaniards are playing this stone, blue stone to come, and then a red one after it.
Ah, right, aye.
So
Sorry, John.
I'd be tempted to, but having sat here all weekend, I'm pretty sure they're going to just stick one in the pocket.
It's just maybe a chat.
No, I can see where you're coming from.
Just catch the inside of that.
Oh, does that go?
I can see a shot here
I think by the noises we all saw that at the same time, didn't we?
before it was blocked.
Yeah. They don't seem to be looking at it though.
I think you've got to take all 3 stones, David. I think the back blue,
Yeah, I
very
think you do.
possibly.
I'm not sure if you. I think to get the angle on the first blue, this blue here. I think to get the angle on the second one, it's just going to miss the third one, is it? To get through the hole anyway. So
I haven't seen them looking at the one that was a few stones ago. Was so that you could just see maybe a quarter stone. That outside blue, that one there.
this one here.
That's very. Might be the only way they can get shot.
I'm not seeing the only other shot I'm seeing is maybe hitting their own reds.
Split.
So hitting in here somewhere,
And deflecting that
trying
one.
to get this one coming across. They are obviously not going for that. They're going for the wee corner. I'm none the wiser. 1, 2, 3, 4 blues.
I would say 4 blue, but I'll just nip out and confirm that for you, David, if you wish.
Yeah, we'll stick 4. We'll stick 4 on. I think. Yeah, somebody's doing the scoring, Kenny. Don't worry. We'll get confirmation of that in a moment.
Just hit the wrong stone there, really, didn't they?
Just exactly that. Just exactly that.
But they must have evaluated that risk before they took it. Because there was. They didn't realise that they were going to.
They possibly
lose
didn't
as
see
many
that could all go wrong.
Aye.
It's just what you said earlier on. We were speaking about there at the start of the end, David. You don't try too many trick shots, will we say, early on, because that's when you can actually lose the game.
No, fair play to the Spanish. They forced them into the trick shot.
Yeah.
They did, aye.
That's.
I think they're actually possibly, to be fair to the Russians, they possibly were lying 3 down anyway.
Possibly. Yeah, possibly.
And I don't think they're in a shot really to get shots, so they maybe thought just to scatter on the other side and get out, maybe just losing 1 or 2.
Exactly.
And it went all wrong and lost, well, we think 4.
I think 4, yeah. I think they were certainly holding four fingers up, so we'll see how that works its way onto the scoreboard. Five up, can afford to err on the heavy side of things. Not a disaster that's through the back of the house.
But this is only the third end, so another 5 to go.
I can confirm, David, it was a 4.
It was a 4, so 5-0 after 2.
So Spain in the driving seat here, and Russia having to try to catch up a wee bit. For those new to the game, in the mixed doubles, you can't remove any doors.
Yeah, you can't hit with this one, you can hit with the next one. Whoever's got hammer can hit with their first stone. Their second stone, sorry.
That, so they've now got a clear house with.
Are you speaking to the ice staff this morning, John? Are they happy with the ice this morning?
fairly happy. Just talking about some high spots and that, and just probably came about because of the cutting and flooding that they did last week there. I've got good report for being keen, and a draw. I don't. Well, certainly I've not had any bad reports on it. They're not reporting any, so it just takes a lot of work to do it, and I don't think that some competitors perhaps appreciate it. Just come to the game.
Yeah, not just a 2-minute job getting it all ready for.
No,
for
it's
play.
not. And trying to get 6 sheets done in a short space of time. Potential changes for next year. We've had feedback we've got forms out there. They've had some feedback on that, so it'll be interesting to see what the actual main organisers decide for next year. Otherwise, I think they enjoyed it. I think that they enjoyed the magician last night, and the banquet was apparently well received, so good.
I can certainly vouch for the banquet. I didn't see a lot of the magician, but I believe he was very good as well. But the banquet was exceptionally good.
Alright, okay.
Small mistake there. Well, it's not a disaster removing the guard at the end of the day. They're now sitting 2 in the house, and they do have last stone, the Russians. So the Spaniards would certainly have liked to have taken the 2 in the house out. Good opportunity too.
Is Spain going to put one on the outside edge here or something? No? Or will it put guard on?
I think they'll put a centre guard on.
Mm-hmm.
Having said that one back tee causes a problem with that, so throw one to the wing maybe. Spread them about.
I'm not sure, it was just where he was holding the brush. So. They'll want to get at least a 2. Russia. They need to get a 2.
Gone to the wing.
Mm-hmm.
Spread them about. Got to make the rings though.
Oh, it's biting.
I think she. I don't think she was convinced it was going to bite.
No, I don't think she was. I don't think she was. So.
But it did.
So we'll get some heavy weight up the centre here, trying to get rid of these 2, I would think. Spain won't be that bothered if they lose a 2 even. I think they won't want to lose any more than that though.
Well played.
Sometimes when you watch the players at the back and you get the body language and you say to yourself, they're quite disgusted with what's going to be happening shortly, you know, and it's as if, well, I can't do anything about it, you know. So.
Exactly. Have you seen what's arrived, John?
That's disgusting. I'm glad I'm not eating any of those things there.
That's handy. So me and Kenny are going to take a break for the next end while we have our breakfast.
So for the next few minutes, what will happen is you'll hear the outside mic. We'll pick up the sounds of the players in the ice rink. So Spain in the command and lead, and Russia getting their 2, so always nice to be on the board.
Yeah, so John says we're just going to take a brief break. We'll keep the pictures on, obviously. If something does happen, we'll jump straight back in, and we'll just grab some breakfast. breakfast time over. 1 to the Blues. Nope, pretty tight. Russians needing to make something happen here. I don't think so. I'd have been tempted to throw it. You might not get another chance to throw it. You take a 2 here. Spanish give you a 1 the next end. So no, I'd have been tempted to throw it in that end, I think just to change things up a bit as well. And that's pretty much the principle, I think, from here on in. We did call a freeze here this time though. Difficult to move the guards. There's already one corner guard on, so I'm not sure you would, although I would advocate a tick quite a lot of the time. I'm not sure I'd go for one here because
back one, will they not?
I think even so, the front one.
Even the front one?
I'd be tempted to lie on the front one. The only one I would even look at trying to tick out the rings is the actual shot stones. But I think a freeze of some description here is what's been ordered, which you would struggle to argue with.
Playing an anti-clock shot here. Nice rotation.
And that's the danger, because that red's arguably in a better position now in terms of being further in behind the corner guard. The Russians can make a play on that, remove the blue, roll behind the corner guard, and the Spanish will have another go at freezing.
I just wonder if they'd be tight on the right hand guard, or if they would be able to get a double if they were, say, halfway like that, or well, the other.
Yeah, they could do offset by. Yeah, I think that's there. Whether they'll just throw a high hard one just to make sure of getting rid of one, just because they've got the 4-shot lead.
Aye. There's not that many shots really that you've got to play about with, so if they're not there, they're not counting. So.
This looks pretty nice. Perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Quite well spread now, though, aren't they?
And they have last stone.
Aye, they're really forcing Spain to draw onto it, really, unless they wanted a double off that one that's just on the left hand side that's just looking.
I mean, essentially where we are in the game is where your vice is about to play his last or her last shot of the game. Or the end, sorry. And he's through the hole. Just to repeat, we're co-called Cross Curling Lounge. So the question now is, do you block up the centre line, or do you just throw another one round the corner? But I think they've got to block the centre line up. That's the danger to kill the end, isn't it?
It is, aye. Well, then you're protecting your 2 in the centre, and even if you're leaving your left hand one here exposed a wee bit to that hit and roll, you know.
How would you think about putting one there, John? So
See, I think that Spain would hit, you see, whereas if you put your guard, as you were talking about, up the front there, say top of the 12, it's detracting from that.
I just wonder if you put it on the right hand side, that if Spain do
Well,
come round.
they've made their mind up anyway. So. They're not far off where you were talking about, David.
Yeah, I would have liked it off the red, just so you could use it as a tap up or an angled hit if they do get one frozen on the back one.
So are they still going for the draw in the back one?
They're still going for the draw in the back one, and if they make it, I don't think Russia really have a shot to get it out.
Right, but they've still
got two shots though.
That's right, aye. He's working this hard. It looks as if it's dying though, doesn't it? Oh, maybe no.
It's not bad.
It's really good. Come on. Come on.
Just not quite there, and it's chippable.
Of course, his problem was his last one played was just a wee bit heavy, and it just kept straight and it went through the back, and this time he's probably just taken just a wee bit too much off, trying to
It's not bad
to be there.
I
So
mean, it's nuisance value in there though. It's I mean, it is short at the moment.
and it could be jammed in the back.
Yeah, it's not an easy shot to get rid of it.
I mean, if it hits that back one and it gets it quite solid, it could go across to the right there. It'd be cut down 2 shots. So quite a crucial shot here to remove this one. That's a stone being delivered.
It's wide. Does enough though. Perfect.
I'd be pleased.
Nice 4 again. Pressure shot now. That's the score of 6 off though.
Pardon?
That's the score of 6 off.
Is it?
We could have had 6. All stones were still there. You get a photo taken on a plaque for 6 in mixed doubles? Doubtful. It's effectively an 8-ender. Kenny will know the answer. Oh, this is missed the guard just. I thought that was all over the guard for a second. That's okay, I think. Do you think it goes?
Possibly, but you would need to be just
You're
about
gonna need to-
99% correct. You know, to get it. I don't think you possibly could just come in probably back 12 weight, David. You probably need to get as much of it as you can see.
Thing is, they'll be working out how they get a 5 out of it.
Is this last stone?
Yeah, this is last stone, yep.
How to get 5 out of this.
Just actually been watching the other semi-final there, and Lee McCleary played a great double takeout. They thought they were line 2, but on a very close umpire's measure, they lost out and only got a 1.
3-2 then, is it?
It's 3-2. both Lee
They're
and
about an end behind then, are they?
they're just starting the next end. Both Lee and Judy thought they were 2 shots, and it was the umpire had a very tough job.
So we did when they didn't.
They actually asked for a remeasure.
Right.
It was that close.
Within the rights to ask for a remeasure.
Yes,
of course.
umpire Jim Hogg just had to take his measure back round again, and you could see the dial moving with both stones, but from up here it wasn't easy just to tell how much. But I don't think there was a lot in it. They seemed quite surprised when they only got a 1.
Right.
Which should have tied the game up at 3-3.
It's close. It's 3.
Just about chasing that blue one out, wasn't it? So now we've got the tighter game that we anticipated. They'll be pleased with that.
It's a great last stone.
Yeah.
Arguably the stone before that possibly too good in picking the blue off. If it had moved the back red as well, it could have been a 4 or maybe even a 5. But no, we'll take that. It's a good end.
Was that red going to go out if it hadn't had the blue there?
No, I don't think so. No, I think it just looked like it.
As you say, John, it was chasing the blue stone out the house.
So
6th end. No power plays in sight yet.
no, but we're not going to have any. Let's just play the game.
Again, remember you're speaking to somebody who throws a power play to lose a 3, so yeah, I think that's always an option as well. I don't blame the Spanish for not playing at this end though. Even if they lose a 1 or a 2, the game's still tight. If they take a 1 or a 2, they can use it in the 8th end to defend. So
Right.
And to be fair, the Russians did okay without it last end as well. So that's a fair shot to start with. Slightly too deep. But not bad when you're trying to steal. Better be back there than not. That's not a bad stone either.
That's a good blue stone. And it also frees up the red to go out play another hand.
Yeah, the angles are pretty nice, particularly if you're playing blue and have last stone.
I think you would just follow that, would you not, David, and put one on top of the blue?
Just try and offset the angles again. It's well short though.
Don't think I would have left it where it is now.
Not got last stone to be fair. But no, still wouldn't have done.
I don't think that was the intention.
No.
I don't think, because they were signalling that they were
Well shot.
in the 4 foot there. So
Right down on top of the blue.
I think so. Would you try and nudge it now?
I don't think they need to nudge it. I think, I don't know, indicate just centre line in the 8 foot.
If you go in there, you have to overswing because they've got last stone, so you don't really want to block it up.
think it's right on top of it. Maybe even nudge the other one.
I think that's pretty good.
It is, isn't it?
You'll be pretty happy with that. I think hitting that blue, the momentum pushes the red sideways even further now as well, doesn't it? So
It might just take the black blue, but I don't think they'll be too bothered about that. I could be correct in saying here, David, I think the Russians are willing to give up a 1.
they are. I think they must be lying second short, because I think they've just called a guard, haven't they? Which is fair enough. At least then it'll be a red stone that's coming into the house if they
Make a play.
choose to have a play at it.
I suppose they're probably not wanting to widen the target anymore for the Spanish team.
No, exactly. I think that's, again, it's the key thing, isn't it? You've got to make a decision how you're going to manage the end. Are you trying to force the one, or do you want to go for it? Do you want to play safe or bail out? And that's the decision made in terms of setting the guards up. Pretty good guard as well.
I think he's looking at coming through between them on the other hand. I don't think that's possible.
I think he misses the stone if he does that, does he not?
Take all the guards off.
He could do. First red over the top of the second red, back down onto the next one. He's got the weight to do it. He's certainly got the weight.
I think they're looking at the gap. No. Surely got to go on the other hand to open up the hole
They're coming. I think they're just looking at the gap as a what-if scenario.
if it happens.
Yeah, I think so. The angles are pretty nice to play for the gap, and if you make the gap, great. If you don't, you're going to scatter at least 2 guards. Just the one.
Would you not have possibly driven that red at the hit there into the other 2 and see if you scatter up everything?
Yeah, I think he was maybe trying to come the other way.
Trying to get through the hole, through the gap, but that was the first option. But
Yeah, I don't mind. You can see enough of that blue now.
you're just going to get a continued guard.
Got to make it.
Yeah.
Got to make it. And it's probably not a disaster if they lose it. If they're forced to take a 1 here. 2-shot lead.
2-shot.
Russians throw a power play.
2 hits to go after this.
Yep.
It's also an end the way it's set up, David, that you could actually not win the game, but put yourself in a even stronger position.
Well, that's it. Yeah.
The way they're lying.
You could end up 4 up quite comfortably.
And then the Russians definitely would throw a power play.
Easier to defend a power play when you're 4 up, though.
I think he's left a bigger gap this time.
I think he has.
Any chance here he's not trying to drive the red stone back?
The motions of the brush were to move his shooter to the left, but I was just about to ask whether there was value in driving this back, because I don't think the blues are going anywhere necessarily.
Especially if they just get half of that front blue stone.
You could be lying 3 guarded.
Lying 3 guarded.
There is a gap. There's a gap. Oh. Maybe it wasn't a gap, because he was pretty close to that guard.
don't think he could have been much tighter on that the front guard, especially at that weight. It had no chance once it came.
No. It's, I don't think you'd want to play it any less weight either, in case you did hit a guard, or you just want to make sure the guard goes. Swingy ice as well, with no or one sweeper depending on how you look at it, so it's a better guard though. The winger, it's always the winger, isn't it?
Well, I don't think he's getting another shot now.
If we've got our stone count right, this is last stone, and the very fact that he's holding the brush would suggest we have, so I don't mind that. A one's not an absolute disaster at the end of the day.
No,
Keeps you in control of the game, and it's a shot for a 4. So,
but you could actually lose shot here.
Yeah, I think that's quite pessimistic, but you could. Nope.
Just drew too much.
One blue. So the Spaniards 7-5 up, going down the 7th.
Power play.
Guaranteed. We're getting this game.
We're getting it better. We're getting better. It's nice actually to see somebody from each team looking after their own stones, as opposed to expecting the other team to put their stone there. You know.
It is. It is. Because it does happen. That.
You see it quite often in that. And
constantly.
The other two are standing away up there discussing their tactics.
Having a little.
Aye.
Look, I have to admit we do that occasionally, but normally after about the 5th or 6th end, we've set every end up before that, and it's like, no, I'll just stand and see who goes and does anything.
I remember we did. I remember when we played it once, and that we just the stone's not there.
Yeah.
Come up and place it, you know. So.
That's a pretty good effort. Both games still close.
I think the other game, the one we're watching, is playing 7. The other one's just starting their 6th. So an end behind.
What time's the final start?
12:30.
12:30.
12:30.
Lots of time. Any word on the Consolation Cup? Who's playing that? Or?
They don't seem to be updating that,
Right.
so I might just go and have a wee word and see if we can get some updates on that actually.
I understand it was quite good fun. So.
Yes, I think we had 9 teams competed last night in a hot shot competition to qualify for the Consolation Cup semi-finals this morning, and the points were good. I think we had 3 teams tied for first place on 11 points, and the 4th place team was 10 points.
That sounds good, Kenny.
It was, as I said, John, I think they all enjoyed it, and we looked at 1 or 2 wee things that hopefully, possibly, that we can improve for next season if we continue with the hot shots.
It's always difficult to have what's really a a semi-fun
Yeah, it
kind
was,
of competition,
it was
but make it worthwhile for.
I think it took us about 45 minutes to about an hour to play it off over 2 sheets, and the biggest thing that Graham and I saw was the first team went first all night, and the rest of the teams were basically
Following them,
learning
from
They
them.
were learning quite a bit off them. So rotating round about was possibly the
fairer way, aye.
we thought was possibly slightly fairer.
Yeah.
But no, there was quite a bit of laughter and joking between all the teams and
That's
giving advice
good.
to their opposition.
That's good, and that's what it's all about, isn't
And I
it?
think possibly we got 4 of the strongest teams through that came out of the sections.
Right, good.
You know, that didn't obviously qualify for the quarterfinals. Possibly, I think there were mostly 3rd and 4th teams that came out of the section, so that's really what we were wanting. But it also gave the teams that had a, let's say, a bad couple of days get a chance to play on the Sunday morning.
And that's what it's all about. You come here, some of them travel fair distances and that, and they want to cuddle.
Yeah.
Here's our investigative reporter back.
Forgot what I was investigating.
You were investigating the Consolation Cup.
I'm hoping we will get them in about 2 seconds. And that would be a no. I have a technical issue with that one. I believe the real shrink are 6-2 up though. I'll need to check the other one.
So Spain got. Sorry, I thought it was they were lying well on the left, but they're not. Russia's lying well on the
2
left.
shots at the moment.
So, oh, what a lovely shot!
Well,
what a lovely
2 shots.
double! What a lovely double! Really was well played.
Rios 6-2 up on Lille, and Norberg and the other Lille rink are 7-all.
High scoring.
High scoring.
We just had a good double there, David.
Anybody any idea how many stones have been played?
Lots.
About there? We'll go for there.
I think we'll go for
We'll
the
see
other,
how-
not
see
too
how we
far
get on.
away.
Uh-huh.
Definitely the Russians to play. Just as John said, a tremendous double take out there. Leave themselves lying shot here behind the guard. We play on the red just to nudge the blue back and lie 2 shots.
Yeah, I think so. It's really the only option to get a 2 now, isn't it? I suppose the only other thing you might do is throw one to the corner, but then you run the risk of being
Lying 2
split,
against you
and
when you
that's
go to
it.
play your last stone.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think they've got to
Think
play
they've
on
got
the red now. You just need to be back round weight.
I'd be tempted to play almost hack actually and try and get the shooter separated across the other side of the house. And it's over swinging. It's not the worst outcome though, actually, is it?
No, it's up mostly hidden. Might have quarter stone to be seen.
Neither are particularly nice to hit though. Neither red.
I wonder if actually, David, I think there's
I think there might be
2
another
stones each to come.
assuming the Spanish are playing the same. The same way round this end.
Well, they're following your advice, Kenny.
Just a quarter of the blue stone and into the red, and possibly lie in behind the red one sitting at the front of the 12 foot. not playing a lot of weight here, but they'll have to be very careful, because if they just split it.
Wilson played the shot now. Got the impression he's maybe trying to push that a wee bit heavier and take that red. She's not pleased with it.
They don't like it, do they?
She's not pleased with it.
I have to admit, I'm never a big fan of doing that, because that's so unpredictable.
Out and out, outside ice.
And particularly as the whole of the rest of the game has avoided that piece of ice.
You've no idea what it's going to do out there, David.
No.
I thought the possible draw right on the face of the red was a possibility that they could have played. But I suppose they did leave the risk then of setting up a double with the blues.
It does, but again, it's power play. Just try not to lose more. And I just wonder about the merit of actually just chucking one to the other side of the house. Lie shot on the other side of the house and force the Russians to hit it and stick.
I think we'll see the Russians play like a wee play on their front red here.
I think so. It's almost the same again with a bit more weight, isn't it? Try and lie 3 at the end of it.
And the red you're bringing in might spring across in front of the other red. It would take the draw off.
Yeah, exactly. This looks quite handy.
Again, lacking weight.
Lacking weight a little bit. Maybe needed to swing a little bit more for all they were sweeping it as well. So
I think they possibly were sweeping because of lack of weight.
yes, yeah. Catch 22.
It wouldn't
But
surprise
they're going
me.
for the.
I think they possibly are, because they can afford to go for a skinny triple here as well. Because if they miss it, it's straight through the gap anyway, and takes the back red out. So, but if they lift the double, yeah, job's done for the end, isn't it? So
Just got to guard against here. They've got to be in the inside rather than the outside of the stone.
yeah,
I know you've got to be on the outside to get the double, but you don't want just to get half a stone.
if they get this to the top one thin, there's a triple there. And take the other one first, though. That's a hit for a 3. 3/4 stone.
I actually was looking at the wrong shot there. I was looking at them possibly playing off the centre red.
Yeah, that's the one I was. I think that's what they were. I think that just swung. They seem to be looking at a brace, but I would.
Could the middle blue just be not there to get half a stone?
Maybe, but you only have to move the second blue 6 inches.
I just fully at the 12 foot,
12
sorry.
foot, yeah. So, I'm guessing it's not as easy as or not as obvious as we think it looks.
I think the angles and that. I think that
But the red's not going to really improve.
Well, no. If they get the red onto the blue, he'll take both of them, because he's hitting the 8-foot blue into the other one. So
But by taking the rays on, you could lose the game here as well.
you could have.
Just sitting here thinking that, David. Would you not just take the shot? At least take a chance at getting one shot.
Risk versus reward.
Yeah, I think the reward's there on the risk-free option, but they've not gone for it. He's played it not too badly.
It's a wee bit unlucky there.
He is a wee bit unlucky. Yeah, they're down there playing it. They'll see it better than we can up here.
I think if the other one had been on, he would have taken it. I mean,
you would think so.
Definitely would have.
Possibly
logic.
just sitting a wee bit square.
Aye.
Power play.
No. I say no.
Oh, surely, yes. Surely. Spanish power play.
Oh, it has to be, aye, because
So aye.
One up with hammer.
Keep the
And
centre
Keep
clear.
the centre clear.
Aye.
And I can see the other camera as well, so.
Aye. And you pair have also played mixed doubles before, so that's how you are.
You need to enter this next year, Kenny.
I have enough curling with other things.
Bit surprised the Russians haven't thrown a centre guard there.
Yeah, I think as we've seen previous games, David, you're down now to basically just like a normal game. You need to steal at the last end.
Yeah, exactly. A normal game, you're 3 stones in and you don't have a centre guard, and you probably need one.
And the Spanish team obviously just throw one to the other side, keep the 8 foot clear.
Yep, quite like that call.
Till they can start clearing away.
Yeah, there's no point ticking centre guards and rolling your shooter onto the centre line, so too much risk of jamming the red if you try to do anything fancy with that as well. So yeah,
I don't think the
Like
indication
to.
here is they're not throwing a centre guard again.
no, I don't think so.
I think a freezing on that blue at the other side was the call, but maybe wrong.
They have gone for the freeze, Kenny. They've not. And they've played it well, to be
Yeah,
fair.
if it's lying, if it's beating the blue, it's a good stone.
I'm just not sure it makes any difference to the end whatsoever, to be quite blunt about it.
Because now,
the Spanish are going to hit the top red.
in fact, the Spanish might hit the guard and hope and get something in the road through.
I don't think the guard's in their way, though.
It's not in the road at the moment, but well, aye,
Clear the centre.
yeah,
Keep
centre's
clear
clear,
the
isn't
centre.
it?
Might try and spin something out as well, but they're looking to see who shot over there. Again, I don't think it necessarily comes into the equation.
The full 8 foot's free for a draw with your last stone. Just clear off.
Which is what you want.
Aye.
The only thing you want is to be line shot before you play it, really.
Yes, aye. You don't need to play it.
That's always quite a nice kind of perk to a game. We made very good time this morning. We're just hitting the hour and a half mark now. Getting through the game quite nicely.
Yes, this game's been played at quite a good pace.
And that's good. Gets rid of the red, spins the shooter out.
So who's shot over here, do you think?
Second shot, I think, maybe blue.
From that angle, yes, I would say blue, but
So blue potentially lying 2.
I think they're going to try the same again. Just to nudge the blue back and lie second and third shots. But they're not even in, they are touching the 8 foot, but the Spaniards are going to have the whole of the 8 foot to draw with their last stone, the way the end's panning out.
Yeah, and I mean you've got to make your draw at the end, but they've made them so far.
I suppose there is a wee bit more pressure on come the last stone. Anything happening on the ice, and
what we can do is work around the edges and
that's possibly slightly closer on that angle.
Still favour the blue. It's going to matter now because
You've played mixed doubles, David. Do you quite agree with the tactics they're using here at the last end?
you probably guessed by my comments already. I'm a bit surprised by them. I don't think it's even mixed doubles, is it? It's you're one down the last. You need to steal. You need to get it going down the centre line at some point.
Guard.
Yeah. Although, as John says, it's pressure. It's the last end. It's the semi-final. The only advantage of playing it this way is you could well be lying game when the Spanish come to play. But you still back them to hit the 8 foot. And if the Spaniards keep hitting like that, they won't be lying game anyway. So, yeah, quite surprised they're not down the centre line.
I think it all hinges at the moment on who is shot over here on this side.
I don't think anybody can decide anyway.
Sorry. I think it's quite close. I do favour blue, but
Imagine if it comes down to a measure on the last. Yeah. The umpire might well get asked to remeasure that one again.
as I said, it might be completely different when you see it in real life.
It's actually, don't even go there. It still might be finished quicker than the other game.
This might alter it if this reaches the red.
I think it could hit the red. And
I would say now it could be red.
no, it could be blue.
It's indicating blue stone.
I think we're all missing the fact that everything's in the 12 foot and they've got the whole of the 8 foot to draw to at the moment.
It's not a lot of ice.
Stick it on the button.
Problem is that Spain's been ahead all the game. You know.
Has. Yep.
Uh,
The nerves are kicking in. But yeah, you've just got to take a step back and say, look, we've got last stone. We're okay here. We're fine. Let's ignore these ones on the 12 foot. Not ignore them, but we don't need to worry about them, certainly.
That looks a bit fat.
That's probably not going to help the nerves.
I'm actually wondering if that was
Semi-deliberate.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or were they trying to make the blue on the other side shot?
Maybe. It's not a disaster again, is it?
The last thing they wanted to do there was throw a short stone.
In an ideal world, it would be nice if the Russians aren't lying 2 when you come to play your last. Nice if they're only lying 1.
Still none the wiser.
You get into the stage you just want this to be over, John. So yes.
And then I woke up this morning just after 6 there. I felt quite fresh, but I'm not as fresh now as
You've
what
hit
I
the
was
wall.
then.
You've hit the wall.
So what would you do with your last stone here, David?
You've got to try and lie too, don't you? So I'm guessing either come to the top of the 4 foot, gamble on the fact that you're red shot across there and make them hit and stick, or you come round the corner, you try and tap the blue back and you lie too.
I think they're coming round the corner.
They're trying to, but they've missed everything.
Wow.
And that makes it a whole heap easier mentally, I think, for the Spanish team. They may be lying game at the minute. We don't know that. But they're certainly not lying game against.
No.
The worst they're getting now is an extra end. We should nip down to the umpire and get him to measure that just to put us out of our misery. But
hopefully this stone will put us out of our misery. Draw to the fully in the 8 foot and it's game over. Handshakes.
I think I would favour red there now, actually. Slightly.
Very hard to tell.
Here it comes up. Doesn't matter.
Don't think it'll really matter because I think that stone's perfect.
I think they're quite happy with that.
Near enough a draw to the button. So the Spanish pair go through to the final.
Don't think they look that keen to measure.
No, a wee bit of don't think that they just played the last end. They weren't gambling to get a shot to try and force the Spanish to play a last stone.
No, exactly. And I think, that's maybe just where the game just changed and made it a little bit easier for the Spaniards.
Well,
down
they
the last end.
left the whole of the 8 foot free.
Yes. Yeah. Just like that.
As you see, we've now joined the other semi-final, which is tied at 4-all after 6 ends, and I think we're still in the 7th end in this game.
Yep. And in a second, we'll just get the graphics back on once we've swapped the software onto the next game.
Not sure how many stones are to come, but I did see a yellow stone.
I suspect we're in the 8th now, Kenny, I think. Could we see a blank?
So I think that draw to the 4 foot with Lee McCleary to take a 5-4 lead into the last end. Yeah, well, I'm just trying to think that was a possibility, John, that we had a power play at that end.
Okay, so last end.
Last end. Scottish team 1 up.
And we've got a power play again.
Are you a wee bit surprised there that they actually drew the one shot?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Bit. Might ask Lee about that after the game, just to see what his thoughts were on that one.
And Lee playing the first shot.
And that might have been his thought process, just to get the first one in and get control of the ends. But yeah, maybe retain last, and it stops the Swedes throwing the power play as well.
And guess what we're seeing here? A centre line guard.
We're happier now. We're happier. But yeah, that's
Aye, it stops them. Otherwise, they would have had the power play, wouldn't they?
exactly.
Aye.
Yep. So it's centre line guard. No, only the Swedes could have played a power play there.
You know the rules, I don't.
Yeah, the Swedes have last stone, so yeah. But whereas if Lee hadn't,
If Lee had blanked
if
the
Lee'd
end,
have blanked, he would.
remain with last stone.
Yeah, that's the theory. The hammer doesn't change in mixed doubles if you blank, does it? I think it might do, which would be why he doesn't blank.
Aye. So you're just as well taking your one.
Yes, otherwise you're going to end up in the same position but 4-all. We'll casually gloss over that. Centre guard, Swedes try and come round, end up top 12 there.
Come round about it on the left hand side. Come round on either side, really.
Come round on either side, maybe just another guard.
I think they were trying to draw to the one.
Try to draw to the winger, I think. Probably doesn't want to lose sight of the fact that they can force a 1 for an extra as well,
Yes.
of course.
I think they were just trying to draw that blue onto the yellow to take that yellow out of the equation when it comes to the end of the end.
Yeah, because if they get onto that one in the corner, you can probably safely assume the Swedes go after the centre guard. So gives you the option of splitting the house there for a little bit of added security.
Inside of the yellow, or as much of the yellow as you can see.
Yep, think so. Yeah, I think at that point they're going for the extra end rather than the steal.
Blue Colin Hartway, I think.
Yep.
It's very good if she gets just the quarters of the stone and flops over onto the top of that other yellow.
It is. The problem with not flopping across to the right is that you leave a double for the Swedes to split the house.
Seems to be this. Wide side.
Yeah, and I expect the Swedes to hit and run to the left here.
Lie 2 shots with a full 8 foot between them.
Slight let off there.
It still doesn't leave a double at all.
Will they try and come round onto the outside right?
I think they might have to.
Yellow?
'Cause I don't think hitting the yellow actually gets them shot now as well. That's the other problem.
Or do you tap your own one up?
Tap your own one up.
It has to be a good tap, otherwise they're just going to race their yellow into it.
Yeah, you've got to get a bit of distance between
Aye.
the one you play and the one you hit.
You said in the previous game, David, you don't really want to come in that round that outside guard onto that yellow because you just have no idea what the ice is going to do out there.
No, I mean, if you can guarantee making it, it would be quite a nice shot, but again, you're not going to line shot out, which just lets the Swedes split the house again. I think
Right.
the tap's a good option.
And you could actually tap it into the yellow and flop over on top of the other yellow. Rather as a straight tap back.
Yeah, kind of play it a back 8 way, and you can go a multitude of positions after that.
If it doesn't just quite sit in front of the yellow, it does. If you can get one across on this near this other yellow and lie second shot.
Yes, exactly. I do think the key thing here is line shot after it, though.
Yeah. So I think it's just a wee bump up on the blue. Hand indication says it could be a wee bit on the wide side.
It's a very good effort. I suspect it either needed to roll a fraction less or a fraction more. It's even less clear than the last name,
No.
isn't it?
Don't go there. I think with the way the Swedes are,
I'd favour yellow on that angle, so I think the way they're talking it, they're going to almost split the house regardless.
I tell you, it has set up now a wee blue tap up. The angles are there.
It has, but it's going to be with last stone, so you're probably as well just swinging round and biting the forefoot. If that's still an option next time, so.
Yeah.
See where the Swedes put this, you'd expect them to make the 8 foot, so I suspect McCleary's just going to have to hit the one that they play here. And then it could be down to the measure.
I think the body language of the Swedes is that I think they think they're shot. And they're indicating putting one at the other side in the 8 foot, so I think definitely they're shot.
They just don't want to leave a double, so they want to be back tee. And we'll see now whether they think blue or yellow shot. If they think blue shot, they may well just hit this yellow. If they don't think they're shot, they don't really have an option other than to freeze it, and they don't know. I think you mentioned they had quite a tight measure before that they didn't necessarily agree with, so it's
Is this McCleary's last stone?
This is McCleary's last stone. I think they're going to trust to the measure, aren't they?
No, I think they're looking for a wee hit this stone and fall over and lie just about where Lee's brush is at the moment to lie short.
Yep.
But as you said, David, the main thing here is at least take the yellow out and make them play the last stone.
Yes, make them play the last stone. Key phrase.
I think they're, as we said, they're looking to lie behind the 2 blue guards as shot.
Yep, I think so.
They could even just be about biting the 4 foot. Mind you, they might be want to be slightly further over, is that so that they can't knock it back?
Into it there somewhere.
Maybe as long as their second shot.
Yes, can't afford to keep rolling and rolling. Nope.
Judith has just maybe possibly thought about a freeze.
I think the freeze was always in the thought. I think it was maybe Lee that suggested it from the hack, and he was just suggested to come back down and have
another
look at it, make sure they're both happy with what they're playing.
Again, if they don't make the hit 100%, they indicate that they're going to lose the game.
Exactly. If they don't make anything here 100%, they're going to lose the game, you would think. So
possibly the freeze is the easier shot. So that indicates, I think, that yellow is second shot.
I've just had a wee look, and I think yellow's second shot.
Yellow from up here. That's what. If you don't know that blue's shot, you have to assume it's yellow.
No, I think that yellow's shot. Not by that much, but
I think that's why they've went for the freezing, David.
Yep.
This one's exactly right on top of that yellow. It'll be very hard to shift. It needs to be 100% certain. 100%.
The other thing is,
or as close to the shooter rolls out from the Swedes, so that it's
an extra end.
Yeah. And that's just nowhere near to coming back, unfortunately for them. And that is it was yellow.
Definitely yellow. So the Swedes pick up a 2 at the last end without playing the last stone and proceed to the final. So it's a Sweden-Spain final.
I think we should go and suggest now that we play it with yellow and red stones to make our life easier.
Yellow and blue even would be good.
Yeah, we'll see where we get to there, but we'll draw our coverage to a close. Thank you, John, for staying awake through that one.
Just to know more.
And thank you, Kenny.
No bother, David.
And we'll be back at about 12:30.